The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of our Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, my scene. You know what I mean. It's my scene, my scene. You know what
Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harriyannahook's pirate ship. I am the captain, you are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why. Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly, because I let everyone in on a little secret when they come over to my pirate ship. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hey, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna, and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues I find within those spaces. Now, today is not my usual setup. Like, y'all know I be changing my setup every so often, but like, y'all, I have just not been feeling well. Like, my like usual setup with the lights and the camera and everything, I had started having like bad panic attacks and stuff like that, and it was just taking me longer to record on camera. So, I think it's mainly because I'm just very stressed out right now because I have anime weekend this weekend. If you're there, say hey, I'm not mean or anything, because I have 2 panels that I'm doing, and then I'm also you know, cosplaying and all that, and I'm supposed to be meeting a whole bunch of people, but also I want to make sure I'm still posting on my channel, because yeah, like, because you know, YouTube been weird with me lately. But anyway, I want to sit here and talk to you guys today about the OMG girls, and I'm mad because I don't want people to think that this video is just me shitting on them, but I have the agenda pulled up here on my computer. Now let's just hop right into it. So, you know, like back in the 90s, like in the 2000s, I'd say, like, we had so many like iconic groups that came from that time period. And misogynoir, it's always been like a big issue with fandom, but like in the past, it wasn't really that present up until I say about the 2010s, when, you know, the internet was more becoming of a thing and more people figured out how to use the internet besides using like racist chat rooms and shit like that, or on the message boards. But like I said, in the 90s and in the 2000s, we didn't really have much of this issue when it came to like a lot of like girl groups. But like in the 90s, when you think about like a lot of iconic boy groups and girl groups, you think of 3LW, you think of TLC, you think of Black, you think of Drew Hill, you think of Destiny's Child, you think of Cherish, you think of En Vogue, Blackstreet, 112, B2K, and the list goes on. Now it's kind of funny because, like I said, that was like a Black teen and early 20s renaissance right there, where like Black boy groups and girl groups and just Black singers in general, there was just so much to pick from, and it was a very like, it was an iconic era because we still are sitting here playing a lot of those songs from that era all the time. Like the thong song still gets played every day in this house. We play the thong song every day on this pirate ship, okay? Like, so much of that music from that era is just so iconic. But then when you look back to see how there was a bit of that in the early 2010s, not too much, and that has to do with trends changing and whatnot, because I'd say that like rap music has kind of taken over like what that used to be. But anyway, like I said, we saw a resurgence of that in the early 2010s, but it wasn't really more with boy groups and girl groups. It was more of a lot of solo artists, and there was only, I'd say, about 2 names from this era that a lot of people actually like remember. Like, yeah, we remember the Trevor Jacksons, yeah, we remember you know, Issa, and then we also remember like Jacob Matamore, but it's like 2 big names that came from that era that everybody's just like, oh yeah, I most definitely remember this part now. And let's just say that was Mom's Behavior and the OMG Girls. And everyone likes to call this era like the Mom's Behavior era because Mom's Behavior was like the biggest group during this time period, and oftentimes when people talk about Mom's Behavior, they associate them with the OMG Girls. But the main reason why so many people remember this era is not really for like the music. They really just remember it for the fandom drama and bullshit. Fandom be ruining everything. Like, fandom is not supposed to be bad. Fandom isn't bad. It's just the people here in the spaces is what makes it bad, okay? Now we like got on the basis of like, you know, the black renaissance of like, you know, girl groups and boy groups and how it just kind of died out in the 2010s. And we haven't really seen it. Like, we had Next Town Down, and I know we have Flow, but like, it's not really like how it was back then. Like, that's the reason why a lot of people are fighting so hard for Flow, because we actually see that they have potential, and we don't want them just to like fade into obscurity, because there's a lot of other black girl groups out here that nobody fucking know about, or ones that we did know about and we don't know what the fuck they up to now. Like June's Diary, what happened to them? But anyway, let's get back into who the OMG girls are. For the most part, currently in this day and age, they're doing pretty well now, in my opinion. Like, they've all gone solo. And from the looks of it, they're doing just fine. Like, they're still making music. They're still looking cute on Instagram, okay? But I'm talking about the era from like the 2010s, okay? I'm not hating on them now. I think they're doing pretty well now, okay? Because you know what certain people think is success and what other people think isn't. I think they're pretty successful, okay? They're doing well just in case. So let's get a little background on who the OMG girls were. And basically, they were like an Atlanta nepotism baby girl group. And I'm not saying that as shade. Like, it's literally the truth. Like, I'm not even joking. It's not true. And by the way, when someone calls somebody a nepotism baby, they're not saying that as like, you know, a negative term, because I know people do use it as a negative term, but like, no, like a lot of people in the industry, the entertainment industry in general, whether it be music and act or film or whatever, a lot of them are nepotism babies because they got that job because of like family connections or friends or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, this was an Atlanta nepotism baby group because of that. Does that mean that they were horrible? No, not saying that, because there are a lot of nepotism babies out here that are bad at their jobs, but then there's also a lot that are actually great at what they do. So let's continue. The OMG girls, I remember when it first started off, Lil Wayne's daughter, Reginae Carter, was in it at one point, but everybody really knows the OMG girls for when it was down to just 3 members, and their names were Zonique, Beja, and Brianna. Now, a lot of y'all may be familiar with Zonique, because you may be familiar with all of them, by the way, just because of this. But Zonique is the daughter of Tiny from Escape, and she is the stepdaughter of rapper T.I. Now, like I said, if y'all not black, you probably don't know. But a lot of my black followers, these names should ring a bell if you keep up with this, okay? Just music-wise, not like keeping up with celebrity drama or anything like that. And I'm gonna be real, like, T.I. and Tiny are the reason that everybody knew who they were. Okay. Because apparently I found out that Beja's parents had some kind of industry connections, but I never knew who they were. But everybody really knew the OMG girls because of, one, you know, Lil Wayne's daughter, but she was no longer in it. And then 2, T.I. and Tiny's daughter. Like I said, everybody knew who they were because of the industry connections and the money that came along with it. I hope y'all know that when it comes to starting up a career in entertainment, that shit costs money. Especially when it comes to music, because like you gotta pay for so much shit when it comes to making music, okay? If they didn't have industry connections and money, they probably would not have been like the most known girl group at this time, because many people would not have known about them during this time. And I mean, like, there were a bunch of girl groups, okay? So many girl groups that I found around this time of the OMG girls being out, and barely any of them, I don't know what they're up to nowadays, but that's because they didn't really have the industry connections and the money that they had. Like, the OMG girls kind of remind me a little bit of Symphony Miller. Y'all remember Symphony Miller? And you remember her show on Nickelodeon called How to Rock? If y'all didn't know, she's an industry, not an industry plant. She's a nepotism baby. She literally is the daughter of the rapper Master P. And then she's also she's the sister to Lil Romeo. on Romeo. But there was like a lot of the people that was around that time period, because Symphonique was out during the time of the OMG girls too. A lot of these people were like kids that like had industry connections because of their parents, or like people that their parents knew or whatnot. Because Diggy Simmons literally is the you know, Angela Simmons, y'all know that family. I forgot, I gotta be specific when it comes to the Simmons family, because you'll either think of like Kimora Lee Simmons and her daughters, or you think of Rev Run. Yeah, Diggy Simmons is Rev Run's son. Okay, I'm drying my hair right now, and I was practicing costume makeup. But I had to put this insert in here because I just found out that Rev Run and Russell Simmons, who are Ming and Aoki Lee Simmons' dad, they're brothers. So that means Diggy Simmons, Aoki, and Ming are all cousins. How did I not know this? Now, moving on back to the OMG girls, the kind of music that they made was like what you could consider a mix of pop and R&B, and that's just pretty much it. Like, there's not much else to say about them when it comes to music-wise, because they didn't really have much of it. And I low-key just kind of blame their management right there. And I don't know what happened behind the scenes with them. Why didn't they have that much music? I don't know. I can't tell you that question, okay? But I really did feel like that played a part into why, like, they got, like, dragged so bad at this time period. But the OMG girls were not really known more for their music. They were known more for their presence more than their actual talents. And it's sad because these girls were very talented, in my opinion. Like, they were known more for their presence and who they were as people than their music, because they didn't have much of it. And it's kind of sad to see how so much of the content that the OMG girls had, because I know they would do covers and I know they released like some other kinds of music on YouTube and whatever the fuck, but they only have 2 songs on Spotify that you can stream, and like that's it. And like, I play one of them in my car all the time when I'm driving down 285, but like, come on, like, no, that's sad. Like, they were talented. Where the rest of the music at? I feel like there's a lot of unreleased OMG girls music out here that we don't know, but like I said, I don't know nothing about that right there. But the OMG girls, they were known more for being socialites than being singers and entertainers, if we're being real. Okay? I'm not sure why they never had an album come out, but when people remember them, they not remembering them from the music, they're remembering them from how fandom treated them. And fandom treated the OMG girls like straight ass, okay? That y'all were mean to them. Y'all was mean, okay? I am so glad that this was the time period where I was like not posting like stuff online other than like talking shit about people on Facebook or whatever the fuck. But y'all were brutal. I remember there used to be hate pages, okay? And I understood why the OMG girls would sometimes respond to some of this stuff, but that low-key didn't make it any better. But you also have to remember, they were like 14 and 15 years old when this was all going on, okay? And I'm gonna be real. I blame fandom for why the OMG girls did not go that far. Okay, they seem to be doing a lot better after they've, like, you know, parted ways, like, as a group and have gone solo and whatnot, and people are knowing them more for their individual stuff than them as a group together. But them being a group was not doing them any justice, and fandom is the reason why. The OMG girls got a lot of hate, and it was like low-key for no reason if you ask me, because I noticed a lot of people were talking about the OMG girls had nasty attitudes, this and that and third, but then when I actually look back at it and I remember, no, y'all said something rude to them first and they responded. Like, cause and effect, bitch. But like I said, a lot of this hate for the OMG girls was just very unwarranted. But I know why. We're going to get into the reason why. But they were getting dragged on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook. People was making hate videos on YouTube. And you had to go out of your way in the past to be making hate videos on people on YouTube, because it was not that easy. And when I mean easy, I mean less people knew how to do it, to post shit on YouTube. Like, they was getting dragged. And people was just talking mad shit about them. And like, it was just very sad. And like I said, the main reason why all of this hate that the OMG girls got was because of them little boys. Them boys. mindless behavior. Like that literally is what it is. It's literally, I'm pretty sure Jacob Lattimore may have played into this. Diggy Simmons may have played into this because they were all kind of like associated with each other at this time. Like everybody that was mainly on the Scream tour, I'd say. But it was mainly Mindless Behavior because they were like the most popular one. Mindless Behavior had a lot of teenage fans, and like while I wasn't really a fan of them, my older sister was. And because of that, Mindless Behavior took my concert virginity. I'm so no, because I'm like, people were talking about who took your concert virginity, and I was like, if I tell people it's Mindless Behavior, they're gonna laugh at me. But no, like that was like my first concert. That's how big of a deal they were. Like it was so many screaming girls over there fawning over Mindless Behavior. Like their audience was black teen girls, and the OMG girls were going for having that same audience as they were black teen girls too. But like I said, the OMG girls were known as those girls that were like always associated with the boys. And y'all don't understand how fandom can be brutal to black women, okay? And a lot of it was just like black women bullying other black women, like black girls bullying other black girls. It was just so much misogynoir going on at this time period because they were just associated with them. And it's sad to see because I really feel like if the OMG girls kept themselves away from Mindless Behavior or didn't make it known that they were friends with them, things would have worked out so much better with them. Y'all see how Flo ain't working with no male artists right now, okay? And y'all see how everybody's still liking them right now. But this is nothing new because I remember y'all always do this shit in fandom where a male group will get associated with women or whatnot. And then y'all would be over there dragging the women for no reason because she was associated with him. Like, I remember people was trying to drag Olivia Rodrigo because she was talking to one of the members of BTS. And I was just like, why do y'all do this, fandom? Why do y'all do this? But like I said, fandom can be ruthless to black women. And I didn't even realize how young they were when this was going on because that group, they were like 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. They were young. Like, imagine how, like, you already have to deal with bullying in school at that age, but they were literally getting bullied by, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of people across the nation that they didn't even know. Like, they had so many people over here lying about them and shit. Like, we talk about fandom and how non-black people treat black girls and women, but the OMG girls, this entire situation was just black girls bullying each other. And I remember when I would be at school, people would just be talking shit about the OMG girls like they would be talking shit about the people that we were in school with. And like the main reason they were doing this, like I said, is because they were associated with mindless behavior. Y'all know how fandom is when it comes to boy groups or just male artists in general because they become very possessive of them. Like acting as if they own them, if that makes sense. They don't want them associated with any like, you know, anyone that identifies as a girl, anybody that identifies as a woman, okay? Because I remember this was a big deal with Shawn Mendes when he first started dating Camel Toe. I'm sorry, y'all. I just, oh, Jesus. But he started dating Camilla, and like you had one part, you had girls and women that were angry at him for dating somebody with a racist history, which was, you know, a valid reason to not like her. But then you have the wrong ones over here just simply mad at the fact that Shawn Mendes was dating a woman. And no, wait, if you're gonna be mad about the person that he's dating, can it be for a valid reason and not simply because he's just dating a woman? But anyway. Now, I'm not sure if the OMG girls did date any of the members of the group. And honestly, I don't care because it's not my concern. That ain't none of my fucking business. But that's the thing. It wasn't anyone's business to begin with if they were involved with them or not. Like, cause I remember a lot of people would be trying to like always like follow the OMG girl simply because they thought that would have got them closer to mindless behavior, or they would have found out more things about them. Like, it was honestly kind of, it was very odd. Like, and I remember if it wasn't One Direction fan fiction on Wattpad that was going viral all the damn time, or Madcon fan fiction, it was mindless behavior fan fiction. And guess what? The girls that were in these mindless behavior fan fictions that were the villains of the stories were, you guessed it, the OMG girls. It's honestly a whole mess. And it wasn't just on Wattpad, because this shit was on Quotive. It was on J14 magazine. There would be fanfiction on YouTube too. Like, y'all, it was wild. This is such a wild ass era, okay? Like I said, since then, the OMG girls, they've been broken up for like years. They seem to be doing fine. Beiju's writing music. I'm pretty sure Zonique is still making music. Brianna's still doing whatever. They all still look really cute on Instagram all the time. Like, they're doing fine, in my opinion. But the worst thing about this when it comes to the OMG girls and, fandom bullshit, oftentimes when it comes to fandom bullshit, you see people talking mad shit and having very bad takes about fictional characters. But then we also have to remember that side of fandom that has to deal with real life people. And I feel like a lot of people were forgetting that the OMG girls, along with Mind's behavior, these were people. Like, these were real people. Like, they're not characters. And that's kind of an odd thing when it comes to, like, celebrities, is that they're treated like fictional characters by people. Like you say, you have, like, so many. Like, there's another Harry Styles fanfiction that is getting a movie. So many of these, like, fanfictions, like, that would go viral on Wattpad or Quotive or J14 or all of that, they would be about real life people. Because I remember I read this really bad Jaden Smith fanfiction when I was like 13 years old. This shit was straight ass, y'all. And it was on J14. And I remember when I was reading it, it's like the people were talking about like Will and Jada and Willow and Jaden and all of this shit. And it's like the way they were speaking about them, it's like how they would assume that they acted. And that's how it is with like a lot of like, fan fiction that's based off of celebrities. A lot of people, like, these Mind's behavior fan fictions, they simply just assume that that's how they were and whatever the fuck. Because this has always been a thing, y'all. This is nothing new, because y'all know a lot of them little Nollywood movies. A lot of these movies, even porn, we gotta go there. A lot of them would just be making like straight up fan fiction over like real life people. Y'all know. Y'all, like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's a thing. Like, people making fan fiction off real life people has always been a thing. And I remember there was this one Nollywood film. I'm not even lying, y'all. There's this one Nollywood film where it's like Beyonce versus Rihanna. And then there's like numerous books on like Wattpad that are like this and whatnot. Like, it was just kind of like, huh? Okay. And it's weird because when it came to these, like, a lot of these stories about Mind's behavior, like fan fiction, and it came to the OMG girls, a lot of the stuff in that, people didn't seem to understand that it was fan fiction, that it wasn't real, and a lot of people were believing the shit that was happening in it. Like, you saw people talking mad shit about them, and then they were over here spreading lies about them, and they saw all of this bullshit. Like, the OMG girls saw this stuff, y'all. Because you know how they be like, yeah, we gotta ignore the haters and this and that and the third. But no, they saw y'all talking shit about them. They saw y'all lying about them. They saw the hate posts. Like, they were aware of a lot of this. And it's actually very sad to see that they had to take so much of that in at such a young age. Because I've even noticed that, I feel like the OMG girls kind of like dismembered. I didn't really see much because, Zonique is on her, she on her Mammy and Pappy show. Is that still going? I don't know. But I did used to watch it. I don't really watch it like that no more, mainly because I just kind of fell out with reality television in general. But, like, I noticed a lot of them, they just kind of, like, push back a little bit from, like, being, like, on social media, interacting with fans and shit like that. Like, they still do be there for the ones that support them. But like that shit had to traumatize them. They were very young to be dealing with so much of that misogynoir. Like that's painful. Like I'm over here 23 and I gotta deal with misogynoir. I'm telling y'all, I am so glad that my channel, because I've had my channel since I was 15. So I was like around the age when they were like in the stardom. And like I said, I'm not nearly as big as them or anything like that. Like I don't even consider myself a celebrity. I'm gonna be real. But I would not have been able to handle that. Like, this is why it just kind of makes me think of that entire time where it's just like, what? Like, I remember I watched Madison Brown's most recent video, and it was like, baby should not be working. And it's like, you think of like, you know, the stress that it is on a child to be working, but then also you kind of have to think of how it is with them being in the public eye. Because like I said, a lot of this shit that was happening on the internet was just like a lot of teenagers just bullying each other. And it's hard enough to deal with that in real life when you go to school and whatnot, but they had to deal with this shit like by people that, like, you know, you always got people at your school that you don't know talking shit about you, but they have to deal with people like thousands and thousands and thousands of people talking shit about them. Like, I can understand why they had, because people were talking about the OMG girls had nasty attitudes, this and that, that. I completely understand why they would have a nasty attitude, because y'all were ruthless to them. Y'all brutalized them, but they had every right not to like y'all. But for the most part, I think it's just pretty sad to see what happened to them, because when I look back at them, I just can't help but think of how much more successful they would have been if they didn't have to deal with like all that mindless behavior induced hate. Like, it's just very sad and it's just very tragic. The 2 little songs that they did have that's on Spotify are very cute. I wish we could have gotten more from the OMG girls. Like, I remember, like, somebody had said something about how a lot of y'all be following certain celebrities for aesthetics, versus, like, their talent and whatnot. I feel like that's just so much of what happened with the OMG girls, and it kind of had to happen like that, because they didn't really have much content. Because I remember, like, somebody had said something about, can the OMG girls do a tour? No, it was like, can the OMG girls, Monster Behavior, Diggy Simmons, Jacob Lattimore, can they all do, like, a comeback tour? And then somebody was like, oh, the OMG girls only gonna be on stage for 5 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, because they didn't really have, like, you know, much content. And I feel like they did have more content, but like I said, I don't know shit about the management side of this entire situation, okay? It's just sad overall. I wish the OMG girls the best. Like I said, I don't have nothing against them. I remember, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna act like I'm holier than thou. I was seeing all the shit people were saying about them, and I was believing it. But then again, I was like 12 and 13 when all this shit was going on. I ain't know what to believe, okay? But it's just like maturity and all of that jazz. And now that I think back at it, I'm like, whoa, y'all were mean. Y'all was little bitches towards them, okay? Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Announcements. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, because all my cosplay stuff is there. Y'all be like interested to see my cosplays, go over there. Check out my Instagram, and then also follow my store's Instagram at harriyannahook if you want to stay up to date on all the updates I have for my store. The She-Go set is available for pre-order. The book My Lady Perfidy is available for pre-order. My novella You're Not Crucial will be restocked when I can get it restocked. Hopefully I can get it restocked like at the end of the week. I don't know, we gotta see. It's gonna be a busy, crazy weekend for me, because I will be at Anime Weekend Atlanta this weekend. I will be a panelist. I will be hosting 2 panels on Saturday. So if you're in the area, come through, say hi. I may look mean, but y'all trust me. People be thinking that I'm a bitch. I'm not, baby. Like, I'm a bad bitch, but I'm not like a mean bitch or whatnot. If you see me, don't be afraid to say hi. Don't be afraid to ask for a picture or whatnot. All I ask is that if you come up to me, make sure you have that mask on and make sure it's over that nose. Alright, alright. What's another announcement? I have The Progenies. It is my web series. It's a Descendants fan series. Link to that will be down below. Please donate if you can. We would deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate it if you could donate, because help us get back to making more episodes. We do have one more episode that's supposed to be coming out this year. But yeah, I will I will get that when I can. Y'all, I've just been so busy. And then also after anime weekend, I'm gonna be making a appearance at TigerCon. I'm doing a panel down there in Valdosta, Georgia, so that's gonna be fun. I can't wait for this weekend. I can't wait to see all of you guys because I love y'all. I enjoy meeting you guys. And last but not least, if you want to follow me for free, just follow me everything at Harriyanna, HARRIYANNA. Use code HOTSPOT30 for 30% off your order on my website at harriyannahook.com. And also, y'all, I am one of the influencers for Parade. Y'all know your Parade. Best panties ever. Use code Harriyanna if you want 20% off your order. Yeah. So that's great. Okay? Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. This intro is taking forever, and I know y'all want me to shut the fuck up. You're like, Harry, hush and get it on. Alright, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good night.
'Cause I work hard to get to this point in my life. I'm blowing up, so don't hate. Just congratulate.
Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their ruts. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all.